What a day of training we had this morning. So I posted the videos this afternoon of the 3 sets. They're just camera videos on a phone, so I mean you don't really get a full feel of how the horses did, what they did, and how they got along. So I figured I was driving home. I get about a 15-minute drive. I figured I'd let you know how the horses went exactly. So for the most part, it was an incredible day, an incredible week. We had 21 today. What do we got here? 6, 8, 14, 6, 20 today, 20 Monday. Some that couldn't make it. I know, I'll be up front with everybody. So Oso Pine, he didn't get a splint crowd. What happened with Oso Pine is he was gelded in March or April. So obviously they removed the testicles and sewed the horse back up in the heel. Now, this horse has had inflammation in his scrotum a couple of times. It's blown up. The vet had to come back in, open up the incisions again and see what's going on in there, flush it out with saline antibiotics and put him on antibiotics. The horse looks great, shiny, he's eating his food, he's not spiking at temperature, but a couple of times we come in and there was some swelling in the scrotum area, so the vet wanted to open that back up and clean it up. Obviously it's not something we want to be doing. Certainly as a male, it's not something I'm very high on, but it had to be done, so it was done, and that's not a big deal. There's going to be no time missed, but obviously we weren't going to school him today. That would be a little rough on old Piner, so he didn't go. RV LeBron got cryoed yesterday, had some splints cryoed. The vet didn't think they were bothering him that much, but we took him anyway. I ripped his shoe off the quarter pole. Mike Safdie pulled him up, so he didn't get to go a mile. But anyway, he got a chance to go behind the gate, and he was good in that regard. And then, who was the other horse? Oh, Casanova's Jewel. Casanova's Jewel was cryoed yesterday. He didn't go over either. So those 3 horses didn't go. We planned on taking 23, trimmed down to 20. Those 20 were very good. So, first set. Now, when you're asking these drivers to go with the horses, nobody wants to commit, nobody wants to blast out of there and go a big corner. So what happens is you get everybody kind of stagnated coming into the gate, and you really can't set your mile up. So I knew this was going to happen, obviously, and I was going with Warwee Ultra. Warwee Ultra's made breaks in the past. First time off the farm, first time to the track, first time behind the gate. She just trotted out of there like a trooper. I don't remember ever being on the front in a training set. Certainly not, didn't expect to be there today. Ended up on the front. We still were up to the quarter in almost 35 seconds. So 34 and 3, let's say. I was at the half in almost 5, 3/4 and 1:34. She went a mile in 2:2 and 1. Last quarter in like 27 and 4. And you can watch what you can on the video. She is extremely strong finishing up. And Time Al Houdini, who I didn't realize this because I was on the front, had got away last. First over at the 3/8, digging to the wire, actually had me halfway down the lane, and then got a little tired and finished up second. To me, he must have trotted his own last 3/4 in like 1:27 and a piece, 1:28, which is a lot more than I would have expected or wanted, but nevertheless a great workout for Houdini. As I left the barn, it's 3:05, and I'm leaving the barn. Harry Polton just left when I did, and my wife's about 10 minutes from leaving. All the horses had eaten their lunch. Houdini's got his head, already ate his lunch, his head out the window, roaring at a horse in the paddock. So very, very happy. As I said to you many, many times before, for me what's important is what takes place after the training mile. I expect all these horses to be professionals and do their job well, but what takes place after the training mile will show you what went on in the morning. Did you go too much? Did you do too much work? You know, are they sore? Are they hurting? How did they come out of it? And these are the things that I want to see. So for me, very pleased with what I saw afterwards. Everybody felt good. There were a couple of Stonebridge Loyal. Her knees bother her, so her left knee was bothering her after a training trip. Coming off the track, or coming out of the bath rack, if you will, onto the trailer. Got her home, dropped the tailgate, walked her in her stall. She was sound. I think her knee's still a little weak and still bother her a bit. We're going to take 3 horses over to the clinic this week. We're going to take Stonebridge Loyal over. We're going to take Curious Winner over. He made a break coming out of the last turn. He was on the line a little bit. We'll talk about that in a few minutes. And Final Answer also rolled off. I don't think there's anything major with any of these 3 horses. I think Stonebridge Loyal's obvious. Her knees bother her. We'll probably put some polyglycan which is something that'll help her knees out and good for her knees. We'll put that in. I would suggest. I would imagine that's what the vet will do. And the other 2 horses, probably splints bothering them somewhere that haven't really popped out yet, haven't been too obvious to us. We'll take them over and see if we can't get those touched up, cleaned up before the baby schoolers. So, back to the first schooler. Warby Ultra was fantastic. Time Houdini was tremendous. Time Tulo went a very good mile. All 6 of these trotters came a last quarter faster than 29 seconds. So that was pretty impressive in its own right. Time Houdini and Tulo finished up good. Swandre the Giant was on the outside. Danny O'Brien said on the right line a bit. Big dirty splint right front. We opted not to cryo it yesterday because he was schooling today. That will likely be cryoed on Monday and be cleaned up, and then old Swandre will have his dancing shoes on. Stonebridge Simba, James just sit in the middle of the pack, and we were coming such a big last quarter. He really just had to hold position to really come 27 apiece, 28 apiece. That's exactly what he did. He said he finished up in the middle, looked great. Screaming Hawk, again, finished up with everybody else. This was a tall order for Screaming Hawk. He's been clawing his way onto the top 10 quietly all year, and really impressed with what I saw from him today. Jody said Jody Jamieson went with him. Doug McNair couldn't go today. Neither could Mario Bergeron. So Jody Jamieson went with him, and he said after, he said he was pretty good. He said, you know, he come like 28-2, 28-3. He said, nice colt. He said, pretty quiet. He said, who's he by? He said, Angus Hall. He said, oh, very good colt then. He said, because if he's not crazy by now, he's really going to get his head on. And he was crazy earlier on, but as I said to you, work and repetition sometimes polishes these colts up, and I think Screaming Hawk, we're gonna have some fun with this colt this summer. Very happy with the entire 6 first grouping. That's a tremendous mile, tremendous quarter and halves with those horses today. Very, very happy with what I saw from them. Now, moving on to the second set, which was the pace, I had Springbridge Proud. And most people know Adriano's probably watching. I doubt Ron Burke is, but Mark Weaver might be. Mike Buscemi and the people that own Springbridge Proud. Incredibly impressed with this colt. Now, the track was a little deep over there, and he still has those bar shoes on from when he had that quarter crack. I don't think he was getting a hold of the track real good. We get over the half slow, came a big last half and quarter, really stretched him out, and Linnea come and nailed him at the wire. This is one tenacious little filly. I'll tell you one thing. The trip she went to, I couldn't tell obviously where she was sitting, but around the last turn, I felt I could have sprinted off on them, and I didn't want to start this colt up. I started him up a little bit coming out of the turn, and then I let whoever's coming pace up my wheel. Bad idea, man. Oh man, that filly can smell blood. She knew, you know, she once she felt like she had me reeled in, it was almost like I could feel her switch another gear. She just went from creeping closer and closer to right in attack mode, and really bullied me under the wire. Really reached up and beat Springbridge Proud, and we were pacing going under the wire really hard. Now, I think Springbridge Proud, he's picking at his knee a little bit with those bar shoes on. I think once we get those bars off, he's going to be a legit colt, I think, because he's got a big engine in him. So those two finished up 1-2. Mo Better sat behind me. Couldn't pace with these two down the lane, but not many could have for this age group. That's a solid last quarter. We were pacing like 27 and a piece easy. Mo Better finished up well. That's his first time really getting stretched quite a while. If you remember in the open house, Phil had him bottled up in behind us and in behind the pace setters and finished up right with them. Was good. This colt looked good again today. Jody was happy with him. Said the other two just kind of paced away on him a bit, but again, until you're ready to go those quarters. The next time we ask him to go that quarter, hopefully it'll be in a Sire Stakes race. The next time he's asked for that speed, it will be there. So very happy with those two. A little bit of a surprise, but not much of a surprise, was who finished up fourth. See You in Tuscany. This colt finished up, stayed with them, and finished up hard on the inside. Looked really, really good. Bob McClure said he went well. Very happy with what I saw of that colt. Remember now, if any of these horses, and you can check it out in the video, but if I came 27-3, 27-4, anybody who gained on me down the lane was obviously going faster. So, from what I saw from these horses was really impressive today. See You in Tuscany, Sunshine's Finest, finished up really, really well. Stonebridge Loyal again on the inside. Now, after the training session, she was a little tender on that left front, but she always is a little bit afterwards. bathed her off, walked her down for a pee. She was fine. Put her on the trailer. By the time we got her off the trailer at the farm, she was perfect. So, a little odd, but we'll take it. She ate all her lunch again, looked great afterwards. I kept a really close eye on her. A couple of times I went back and looked at her this afternoon, and every time I went back, she was eating or she was playing. She felt good, so that's a good sign. I am going to have her to the clinic this week. Sunshine Inn, Danny said he had the hood on her, and I didn't notice it, but whatever. You know, I knew we were going to go a big mile today, and I would have told him probably to take the ear hood that kept everything quiet, to take that off her. You know, and I didn't notice it when she went on the track until after. He said, geez, probably shouldn't have went with the hood on. She was really quiet, sitting back there in 6th. Paced a good mile with a good last quarter, but certainly not the flash that we saw in the open house. But Mario wasn't there to go with her today. Danny O'Brien went with her. Said she did everything good, finished up strong. Just didn't have that huge kick, but you wouldn't have that with her. You know, to spark her right up. You know, you can't have her ears plugged up and, you know, have her in a coma. And not a big deal, though. Not a big deal. It was a great workout for her. Everybody, the biggest thing for today was getting them up in behind the gate and see how they felt. Taimo, Houdini, and Tulo were a little goofy behind the gate. But they were the only two that I can remember, to be honest, that didn't go and put their nose right up on it, which was great. But it, again, like I said last week, a real testament to the work we put into these horses and the professionals that they become. So really, really impressed with what I saw from them. Her at 8th. She finished up with them 1 mile and 2 and a piece, come 28 seconds. Really just followed speed. And James said after she felt a bit flat, got back to the barn. She had a tiny temperature. She ate her lunch, but a tiny temperature, 100.8, and had some mucus in her nose. So I think she's just a little bit sick today. I expected her to go a big mile and really wasn't present. So, you know, put 2 and 2 together. Pretty easy to figure out. You get mucus in her nose, an elevated temperature, and a flat filly. You don't have to be Columbo to figure out what happened. She's a little bit sick today. So that was the pacing side. Third set, these trotters look good today. Now, you guys obviously just got to see a blurb the last quarter from a phone, so I'll map it out for you. Leaving the gate, Friggin' Biggin blasted out of there, which was shocking. He was awesome today, Friggin' Biggin. Sylvain moved him like 2, maybe 3 times in the mile. I made a break coming into the last turn. He almost run over my wheel and still exploded down the lane, finished 2nd. Bay Jewel was tremendous. Mile and 2.4 last quarter and 28 and a piece last half and 58 and a piece. Looked really, really good. Really impressed with what I saw from Bay Jewel. Jody really liked her after. For a filly that has never left the farm yet. This first day behind the gate, first day off the farm. Just a total professional, this filly. Really impressed with what I saw from her. She won the schooler. Friggin' Biggin was 2nd. Cruising with Angus screamed off the car, sat and finished up with the field. Now, coming out of the last turn, I moved cruising with Curious Winner. I moved him 4th to 1st coming to the half. Looked like he made a pretty good move. Got lost a little bit in the last turn, a little green and stupid on the front. Then he got biting the right line, and I got down in tight to the pylons. And when I went to fish him out, he just rolled off stride. Now he interfered with Friggin' Biggin and Final Answer, and they made breaks. Or no, Friggin' Biggin did not make a break, but Final Answer did. And everybody else got around us. Cruising and Angus got jammed up a little bit, but never, you know, for a horse that wore the hobbles all year, we took the hobbles off of, oh, I forgot about the big filly. Took the hobbles off of Cruising with Angus and big filly, what's her name? Too Far Gone. Took them off, both of them today. Now, here's the very funny thing. So, the problem we've had with Too Far Gone is, this is very odd, unique, and a little bit disgusting. She urinates in the mile. Mares sometimes in heat will do that. Sour horses sometimes will do that. Very rare you see a horse as happy as her. Just go out there with her ears up and virtually piss all over the driver. I never go with her, so I think it's funny as hell when Danny or Ricky or somebody says that. And I was down to drive her today. We were going to try and rig up a funnel and a hose, and you know, we really don't know what to do. There's not much you can do. You can't just stop it. So, Curious Winner, I had James down drive. James says, no, I'm not going with him. First time off the farm, new sights, he's going to kick. And I said, well, I was down to drive, we call her Pissy Pants. I was down to drive Too Far Gone. We'll switch, but you know the scoop on her. Well, I said, I'm going to rig up this funnel, and I think, it'll probably work, I guess. He says, well, all right, I'm going to go with her. He said, I think that horse will kick first time off the farm. So I went with Curious Winner. He didn't kick. He didn't act up at all. But Too Far Gone definitely urinated all over James. So from start to finish, I looked left leaving the gate, and he's got his hand up, and he's cursing her, and he's cursing at me, and he's mad. But all jokes aside, she looked great on the track. If you didn't know she was peeing, you'd say, wow, that's a beautiful filly. First time without the hobbles on in a while. First time off the farm. First time really showing her any speed. 2.6 last quarter and 28 apiece, 29 seconds. Last half better than a minute. Really impressive mile if we can just get that. And I don't think there's anything we can do. I don't think there's no medication you can put her on to not urinate. It was funny, but you know, it's not funny because we got to race her all summer. So I think I'm going to have to rig up the funnel on that area with a hose that goes back. It's stupid, but whatever. You know, sometimes you gotta improvise, and it's not hormones. She's the happiest horse on the track. She got her ears up, bouncing around and peeing everywhere. So whatever. Very rare and unique and odd, and I've been driving for over 20 years. I've seen a lot of sour horses. I've seen a lot of sour horses do that, or horses with hormone issues. Never seen a horse happy do that. Never in my life. So anyway, we're going to have to tackle that. So, all jokes aside, Monday and today we had 40 horses. 40 horses we took to the farm, or from the farm to the track. 40 horses trained great. We have 54 horses in our care right now. 3 are now turned out, so that's 51. Of the 51 left, I'm going to call it right now, 49 will be qualified by the end of July. 51 will be qualified by August 15th. And 54 will be qualified in 2018. That could be wrong. There's a long summer. Horses can get injured. But from what I see a clear path for all 54 to race in 2018. And that is another impressive year of numbers. Now all that's left is to win some races. So we're going to do our best. We put the foundation in these horses. It's pretty evident now that we got some fairly talented and impressive horses. It's going to be fun racing them. A lot of fun. So, next order of business is baby day. When we decide which day we're going to start bringing the babies over, we'd like to organize an outing for our clients. It'll likely be last year and the year before they had like trotters on Friday, pacers on Saturday. So I don't know which is the best. When we get a clear indication from the racetrack what they're going to do, if they do say Fridays and Saturdays, we'll have two. We'll have two client days for the TheStable.ca clients. Obviously, I know a lot of you work, so Fridays might be a little difficult. Some of you aren't even in the country or the province. Obviously, a hurdle also. So we'll put an email out, and we'll put an RSVP out, and you let us know if you're coming out, how many people you're bringing. We'll try to line up some food and coffee. I know that's a union place, so I don't think we can actually offer food. I don't think they consider donuts food, and usually on those days the racetracks offer breakfast or lunch. So we'll bring lots of coffee and donuts out, have our clients set up on the veranda where we had the party last year, on the veranda at, what do they call it, the Corona veranda at Mohawk. I'm not sure what they call it this year, but that veranda out front. We'll set something up there for our clients, and obviously we're planning a lot of fun things this summer. Although we did not cement a trip to the Hambo, we're working on getting our horses there, and when we do, if we have to organize something, I'm sure we can. So we get a lot of cool stuff going on. All you people out there, download the TheStable.ca app. It shows everything going on right now at the stable. We're looking to make some vast improvements in the coming weeks. Should be really, really cool. So again, I turned a short update into a 19-minute sermon. Happy to do that anytime. Glad to keep you informed. Great day today, great day Monday. We're coming back Monday with more of them, so if you're in the area, be sure to drop out. Anyway, 30 degrees right now in Ontario, 20 centimeters of snow in Newfoundland. Am I ever glad I left the Maritimes? Have a great day. Have a great day. Talk soon. And, well, we have the video on the weekend. Take care.